feel the energy, okay? Last time I came into a room, all right? Come on. Last time I was invited to speak to a group of women, I rose to James Brown, that it's a man's world, so I need to feel the energy. I need to, come on, pump it up. I know we just had a salad. I was looking for something a little heavier, like some macaroni and cheese, a little grits and gravy, some of that. But anyway, thank you for having me today. Like I said, the last time I spoke to a group of women, and I talked to you about the queen bee and the coach. The queen bee, I vilified her, and of course, I identified as a coach, because I thought that was a better way to go. And as I said that term queen bee, in that room, you could feel the air go out. I heard a loud gasp. I looked around, I saw some women clutching their pearls and saying, oh God, how dare she say something like that. And if I had not ended that speech playing Beyonce's Who Runs the World, I think I would have been written off as a woman who really perpetuated the marginalization and the devaluation of female leadership. And that could be further from who I am. I look at it and I say that, I had some time, I had to think about it, had to reflect on it. And I came back and said, you know what, that queen bee, the one I talked about, the one that doesn't advance women, the one that puts a foot on the door as you're trying to push in and you can't get in. And the woman that sits back and says, it's only room for one of us at the top. She doesn't exist. Quite frankly, she is a stereotype. She is a stereotype used to discourage us from going after those positions that we really want. And I'm here to debunk that myth and reintroduce myself to you as that queen bee. With that debunking of the myth, I gotta address one thing. All of us are seen, all women are seen as nurturers. We're seen as caregivers, putting ourselves in the back seat, putting everybody else before us. And so that's our collective idea of a woman. And when we have that and we see women exhibiting those qualities that we attribute to men, then, that kind of conflicts, right? We don't like that. Like, for example, give a couple examples. You probably know these ladies. Nancy Pelosi, the first female House Speaker. The Atlantic describes her as the most effective congressional leader of our time. Yet, she is vilified and the most unpopular woman in politics today, besides Hillary Clinton. Then we have Sheryl Sandberg. We all read Lean In, I think. And one thing I liked about Lean In and what I thought that she did for women, she invited us to come to the table, to sit at the conference room table, take our place, and just merely be. But she was also vilified. She became the face of the Russian invasion. Then we have Serena Williams, the greatest athlete of all times, the GOAT. She's frequently portrayed as an angry black woman every time she decides to fight against a call that was made against her. So we have to stop that. That's the images that are out there for us. And the queen bee, the woman the powerful women, you're sitting there and you're trying to do your best. You are still vilified. Like, I'll give an example of me. Once during a professional negotiation, I was asked by a man, how does your husband deal with you? Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah, I love that too. So what I did was I quickly responded and said, fortunately for you, he's not here. So you see, all of us have these stories. All of us have something that we can attribute to being devalued. So when I look around and I see all of you, all of these powerful women, I think to myself, what could I possibly give you as a takeaway? What could I possibly tell you how to get to the top? Let's just give some examples of what the top looks like. According to the McKinsey Global Institute study in 2019, only 22% of the women were in senior vice president positions. And of the 22%, 3%, 4% were actually women of color. And I asked myself, why does this happen? Because this is on everybody's to-do list, to add women to the C-suite. That's all you hear. It's drum roll. It's beaten to your head. We at our organization, we have women in those positions, but yet and still it seems like it's not enough. So my question is, why? Why do we not have enough women? Why do we only have 5% of the women that are even in the management positions to feed the senior level positions? What is happening? Are we promoting the right women? Are we choosing the wrong candidates? What are we doing? Why are we not doing enough? Do women feel, as you're climbing that corporate ladder, do you say to yourself, you know what, I just don't want this. You know, it's too much of a responsibility. Do we feel like the corporate structure is actually rigged? Are there not enough advancement opportunities for us? What is it exactly? And, you know, I hate to tell you this, but I don't have an answer. I just don't. I know one thing, though. If I want to see people that look like me in powerful positions, I must be purposeful in my efforts to identify, cultivate, and open that door to the opportunity. So let me reintroduce myself. I am Lisa Lunsford, the Queen Bee. I advise about 5 women entrepreneurs, a couple of middle managers, a college graduate, and I can't forget 1 teenage daughter and a gaggle of her friends. That's all that gray hair up here, you know, that I have. And you know, for as much as they are different, they are really alike. You know, you have these bright, driven, purpose-filled young women ready to do everything they can to make their dreams realized. And so they look to me, they come to me, and they say, okay, how can I do this? How can I get to the top? Show me what to do. So I put together some takeaways, all right? You guys ready? Okay, it's real simple. You might need a piece of paper. Not sure. I'm going to tell you the words of wisdom that I give to all of these little girls. Your destination determines your actions. Your actions determine your journey. Your journey is unique. It is yours alone. You will fall, you will rise, you will have challenges, the road will be windy. You will cry a lot, but it's okay. And the challenges that you face, you will face your challenges. Nobody can take those away from you, but the challenges are designed to teach you a lesson. And once you learn a lesson, you'll move on. Now, as I often say, a lot of times it takes a little bit more for us to learn the lesson. So you'll repeat the lesson until you learn the lesson. And in that repeat cycle, you know, you're going to stop and you're going to ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I seem to get there? And if you're listening, you'll hear this voice that says, instead of turning left, let's go right. And at that particular moment, you have your aha moment. You'll start breathing. So I say to the Queen Bees, and all of you are Queen Bees, we are here to uplift, to empower, to build, to keep it 100. We're here to remind you that you're not doing yourself any favors by not being authentic. You are in it to win it. And if somewhere along your journey you decide that this just isn't for you, it's okay. It's okay. You have just decided to just move to another destination. So, Queen Bees, I say to you, and you're all Queen Bees, that we can and we do support each other. Thank you.